Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. Today, of course, is January 6, 2025. This is the day that Congress will certify the electoral votes. It is also the anniversary of, 4 years back where what Democrats are affording Donald Trump right now is exactly the thing that Trump refused to afford Democrats when Joe Biden won this election. And so if you were looking for an instance where the asymmetry between the two parties is put on full display, it is this day right here, where, again, 4 years ago, a riotous mob stormed the U.S. Capitol, smearing shit on the walls and looking to assassinate Nancy Pelosi and hang the sitting Vice President, Mike Pence. And this time around, Democrats, I don't know whether or not there will be some objections. I presume... Look, I could say either way. It could go one way or the other. Maybe there might be some coordination among Democrats to just say, look, let's not do even a bare minimum of what Republicans did 4 years ago. But we may very well see some objections to the electoral vote certification. I presume that there won't be. In any case, before we see the even in the event that we do see some objections, and before we see Republicans or right-wing commentators say that there is some equivalency between the two sides, because just as Republicans objected 4 years ago, Democrats may object today, there is no equivalency between politicians objecting, as is their constitutional right, to the vote certification so that they can afford themselves or avail themselves of the process afforded to them, with storming the U.S. Capitol and looking to kill the Vice President and Speaker of the House because you're not happy that the loser of the election was not anointed the winner. So if you hear any right-wing commentators, any Republicans going on Fox News, I beg of you, disabuse yourself of this notion that the two parties are the same. And we're seeing that put on full display today by virtue of the fact that Joe Biden or Kamala Harris did not call for a mob to assemble at the Ellipse today so that they can go fight for their country and storm the U.S. Capitol looking to bash in the heads of police officers and impale them and bludgeon them with the blunt end of flagpoles. So no, there is no equivalency between what the two sides are doing right here. I should also note that in the 4 years that have passed since January 6, 2021, about 1,600 people have been charged in the insurrection crowd that stormed the Capitol on January 6th. And we should expect most of, if not all of those people to receive pardons from Donald Trump when he takes office. And I think, if anything, puts on full display the glaring, again, asymmetry and just joke of the Republican Party branding itself the party of law and order. It is that right there. It is these people looking to just heap rewards onto people who have broken the law, again, sought to kill police officers, bludgeon police officers, injure police officers, throw fire extinguishers at police officers, all because the God King summoned them to the U.S. Capitol. And those people will not face the fullest extent of the law, because so long as you show loyalty to Donald Trump, that is the sole qualification that he needs to be able to have some justification in his addled brain to offer some pardon or some clemency. So these are people who are going to be released from prison if they're in prison, who are going to have their charges wiped away if they have been charged, all because they offered Trump exactly what he wanted, which is loyalty at all costs. And it doesn't matter what they did to warrant those charges in the first place, so long as they were willing to show some fealty to the God King here. So that's where we're at right now. I know a big question among a lot of you watching right now is what the deal is with Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment says that if you've previously taken an oath of office and you have engaged in or given aid or comfort to those who've engaged in insurrection, that you are disqualified from taking the oath of office again. You are disqualified from holding federal office again. And so on its face, it is pretty damn clear that Donald Trump falls into that bucket of both engaging in and giving aid or comfort to those who've engaged in insurrection as a previous office holder, who would therefore be disqualified from taking office again. The reality is that there is a pretty vast gulf here between what should happen and what will happen. And I wish that I could sit here and tell you that because the plain text of the Constitution in black and white says that Donald Trump should not be allowed to take the oath of office, that that's what will happen today, on January 20th, or that would prevent this process today from moving forward. But I sadly can't tell you that. In the same way that I can't tell you that the Supreme Court has to adhere to the plain text of the Constitution in its rulings, I can't tell you that. There is, again, a pretty vast gulf here between what should happen and what will happen. What should happen is that it should be abundantly clear by virtue of Trump's actions on January 6, 2021, and in the immediate aftermath of January 6, 2021, and even preceding January 6,